Hi, Michelle. Thanks so much for your week 5 feedback and big congratulations for just how well you're going in Viscom. You're always submitting your work on time, you're doing your work thoroughly, and your ideas are really, really creative and exciting. And I just love opening up your work. I can tell you're really engaging with your design problem and solving it. So I've just got it up on screen, and I'll just talk to some of your folio pages and just point out a few things that are working really well and just draw your attention to a couple of things you might want to improve upon. Thanks for doing the SAT to folio checklist. I hope that helped you to sort of work out where you're sitting with in terms of your standard. I think you might have marked yourself a bit hard in some areas, so I'm certainly feeling like you're in the high to very high range in a lot of areas. So getting onto this development page, it's really good to see you using the design elements and design principles. In this case, you've used pattern and you've also used complementary colours. I don't know if you noticed that, but complementary colour contrasts create the maximum amount of contrast in colour. So, and that's because they're opposite on the colour wheel. So you've used that kind of I'm guessing it's yellow, maybe it is green, but I saw it as yellow and purple. It works really well, it really vibrates, and the pattern is really strong and geometric. So just make sure that you, in your annotations, that you even underline whenever you are using or whenever you've identified a principle or element, make sure you underline that so it's really, really obvious. The other thing you need to make sure of is that you keep referring to the audience. So somewhere on that each folio page, I should be able to read an annotation that says, you know, something to the effect of, I've chosen this zigzag pattern because I think that it will appeal to the audience and suit the vintage theme. And that just keeps reminding us as you're working through your design process that you are constantly thinking about your client's needs. Your work on the computer has been really, really successful. It's certainly sharpened up your shapes that you've used and given you a chance to really explore lots and lots of colour combinations. So I think it's worked really well. You know, they're lovely. And your hues that you've picked, or the tones of the hue, are that lovely sort of soft, muted pastels that really suit the ice cream vintage theme. And you know, because the tone of this sort of orangey colour that you've got is so similar to the tone of the background, you're probably in your refinement phase going to have to work out a way to make it stand out. And a simple way would be just to put either a white outline or a stroke. Black might be a bit too heavy, but certainly white or even another colour just around to separate the tones. I think that would work really well. You've got some orthogonal drawing, which is really great because you are dealing with some package design. But just be mindful that for the views, for the front and the side view, that we're not actually going to see any three-dimensional qualities. It's just going to be a straight line at the top and bottom. And same again with your ice cream cone, and that's fine because you haven't shown any three-dimensional qualities up here, so that's a good sketch. And obviously as you further refine your package, you will include measurements and do the dimensioning correctly for these particular packages, packages. Oh, it's package, isn't it? Now, you know, here we see the development of your typography, which is really good. You're talking about the typeface here, which is really good, and the typeface style, and, you know, whether it suits the audience and whether it's legible. All these things are important. I thought this was really great, and I was pleased to see that you settled on that one because, look, it's my favourite, but it's not about me, is it? It's about the audience and meeting the needs of the client. But I did think that you know, ye olde weldy sort of typeface for thee at cart, and then you've contrasted that with this sort of more upright, simple, bold, elongated sort of typeface, which was really, really good. Again, you know, I really like the use of the symbol here to replace the letter. That's very clever and works well for your particular design problem. Good to see some watercolour media being explored here. I don't know that you actually stated which media you use, so you just make sure that you write that down in your annotation. Some lovely colours here. What comment have I made? I'll just keep referring to the colour and the appropriateness of these hues for the vintage theme. So, you know, you keep working with the pastels. And really, I guess what they do is they represent the actual colour of the ice cream. We tend not to see really bold, vibrant ice cream colours. So that's what you're playing off with your colours that you've chosen. Oh, that's just beautiful. I was really pleased with that. It's very professional, very refined, very neat. You know, I guess in your refinement, it will be interesting to sort of subtly tweak some of the outline lines that you've done here. You know, will you keep it in this strong rectangular format, or will you start curving the edges to make it look more like a ribbon? I guess there's some of your decisions that you can explore more in the refinement. Certainly the white, I think, stands out the strongest against the coloured background, and you've certainly made note of that in your annotations. I thought this was really beautiful, and you know, in terms of the colours that you've picked, you know, it actually looks really appealing, and certainly this colour scheme gets my taste buds working, and I hope that you've made mention of that, you know, how important it is for advertising food, how important colour is. You know, chocolate bars, certainly always use these warmer colours to try and get us to, you know, want to eat the product that's inside the label. It's good to see some more, you know, all these screenshots. You've certainly been really thorough in showing the screenshots there. And, you know, this is a really good place to finish at with your design development. When you start refining, you can certainly explore the legibility a bit more of the word "the" and "cart", maybe using larger font or a slightly different font to make it stand out more. Certainly the word ice cream stands out, and you've got a lovely rounded font here with the rounded R to sort of pick up and reference the roundness of the ice cream in a cone. And your menu board, you know, gee, that liquid chalk looks like fun, and it's certainly very bright, isn't it, on the black? So is this actually black paper, or is this actual blackboard paint? Just make reference of that in your annotation. You've used hierarchy here really well to direct our eye. So you've used blue here to sort of indicate the subheadings, which is important. You know, what did you think of this one? It's eye-catching, but there's a lot of colours going on here, isn't there? It's good you've explored it. And the last option here, you know, you've put the word pricing on a bit of an angle. And what that does is it creates a lot of contrast, because everything else is aligned along a horizontal line in the grid, and then you've gone and put pricing on an angle. So really, in effect, that creates a bit of a focal point, which you might want to play off. I don't know whether you want the word pricing to be the thing that draws our attention. Maybe you want the word flavour. Try flavour on an angle. Maybe try something else on an angle just to make it stand out. So I think overall your menu design is, the folio there is not as strong at the moment as your you know, your logo and your packaging. You've done a lot more work on these. Maybe your menu doesn't really have as much work that you could do, but I think you could certainly explore your handwriting a bit more and try different handwriting out. You know, maybe look at some different handwriting type styles on the computer and see if you can try and copy some of those. That would be really good. Well done, Michelle. It's going brilliantly.